As a language learner, what are your goals for learning English as a second or foreign language? What for you are the uses or functions of language? How do you think would you be able to achieve these goals? This video talks about language functions. Elocutionary competence consists of the ability to manipulate the functions of language, a component that Cornelian Swain subsumed under discourse and social linguistic competence. Functions are essentially the purposes that we accomplish with language. For example, stating, requesting, responding, greeting, parting, etc. Functions cannot be accomplished, of course, without the forms of language. Forms of language comprise morphemes, words, grammar rules, discourse rules, and other organizational competencies. While forms are the outward manifestation of language, functions are the realization of those forms. Functions are sometimes directly related to forms. How much does that cost? This utterance is usually a form functioning as a question. He bought a car. This utterance functions as a statement. But linguistic forms are not always unambiguous in their function. I can't find my umbrella. Such utterance, said in a high-pitched voice by a frustrated adult who is late for work on a rainy day, may be a frantic request for all in the household to join in a search. I want some ice cream, uttered by a child, is rarely stating a simple fact or observation, but requesting ice cream in the child's own intimate style. A sign in a church parking lot in a busy downtown area was subtle in form, but direct in function. That sign functioned effectively to prevent unauthorized cars from parking there. Communication may be regarded as a combination of acts, a series of elements with purpose and intent. Communication is not merely an event, something that happens. It is functional, purposive, and designed to bring about some effect. Communication, according to John Austin, is a series of communicative acts or speech acts which are used systematically to accomplish particular purposes. Austin stressed the importance of consequences, the perlocutionary force of linguistic communication. Let us now touch on Holliday's 7 functions of language. Michael Holliday, who provided one of the best expositions of language functions, used the term to mean the purposive nature of communication and outlined 7 different functions of language. 1. The instrumental function serves to manipulate the environment to cause certain events to happen. Look at the following sentences. They have an instrumental function. They are communicative acts that have a specific perlocutionary force that bring about a particular condition. 2. The regulatory function of language is the control of events. While such control is sometimes difficult to distinguish from the instrumental function, regulatory functions of language are not so much the unleashing of certain power as the maintenance of control. The first part serves as an instrumental function, but the second part serves more of a regulatory function. The regulations of encounters among people, approval, disapproval, behavior control, setting laws and rules are all regulatory features of language. 3. The representational function is the use of language to make statements, convey facts and knowledge, explain or report, that is, to represent reality as one sees it, such as the following examples. They all serve representational functions, although the last representation may be highly disputed. 4. The interactional function of language serves to ensure social maintenance. Phatic communion, or the communicative contact between and among individuals that allows them to establish social contact and to keep channels of communication open, is part of the interactional function of language. That is according to Bronislaw Malinowski. Successful interactional communication requires knowledge of slang, jargon, jokes, folklore, cultural mores, politeness, and formality expectations, and other keys to social exchange. The personal function allows a speaker to express feelings, emotions, personality, gut-level reactions. A person's individuality is usually characterized by his or her use of the personal function of communication. In the personal nature of language, cognition, affect, and culture all interact. 6. The heuristic function involves language used to acquire knowledge, to learn about the environment. Heuristic functions are often conveyed in the form of questions that will lead to answers. Children typically make good use of the heuristic function in their incessant why questions about the world around them. Inquiry is a heuristic method of eliciting representations of reality from others. 7. The imaginative function serves to create imaginary systems or ideas. Telling fairy tales, joking, or writing a novel are all uses of the imaginative function. Poetry, tongue twisters, puns, and other instances of the pleasurable uses of language also fall into the imaginative function. Through the imaginative dimensions of language, we are free to go beyond the real world, to soar the heights of the beauty of language itself, and through that language, to create impossible dreams if we so desire. These 7 different functions of language are neither discrete nor mutually exclusive. A single sentence or conversation might incorporate many different functions simultaneously. Yet, it is the understanding of how to use linguistic forms to achieve these functions of language that comprises the crux of second language learning. A learner might acquire correct word order, syntax, and lexical items, but not understand how to achieve a desired and intended function through a careful selection of words, structures, intonation, nonverbal signals, and astute perception of the context of a particular stretch of discourse. Let us now talk about functional approaches to language teaching. The most apparent practical classroom application of functional descriptions of language was found in the development of functional syllabuses, more popularly, notional functional syllabuses. Syllabus, in this case, is a term used mainly in the United Kingdom to refer to what is commonly known as a curriculum in the United States. Notional functional syllabuses attended to functions as organizing elements of a foreign language curriculum. Grammar, which was the primary element in the historically preceding structural syllabus, was relegated to a secondary focus. Notions referred both to abstract concepts such as existence, space, time, quantity, quality, and to what we also call contexts or situations such as travel, health, education, shopping, and free time. The functional part of the notional functional syllabus corresponded to what is defined as language functions. Curricula were organized around such functions as identifying, reporting, denying, declining an invitation, asking permission, apologizing, and so on. Vanek and Alexander's 1975 exhaustive list of language functions became a basic reference for notional functional syllabuses, now simply referred to as functional syllabuses. Functional syllabuses remain today in modified form. A typical current language textbook will list a sequence of communicative functions that are covered. The following functions are covered in the first several lessons of an advanced beginner's textbook, New Vistas 1 by Brown in 1999. 1. Introducing self and other people. 2. Exchanging personal information. 3. Asking how to spell someone's name. 4. Giving commands. 5. Apologizing and thanking. 6. Identifying and describing people. 7. Asking for information. A typical unit in this textbook includes an eclectic blend of conversation practice with a classmate, interactive group work, role plays, grammar and pronunciation focused exercises, information gap techniques, internet activities, and extra-class interactive practice. Burns in 1984 emphasized that context is the real key to giving meaning to both form and function, and therefore, just because a function is covered does not mean that learners have internalized it for authentic, unrehearsed use in the real world. We must remember that communication is qualitative and infinite. A syllabus is quantitative and finite.